Welcome to Unravel the Threads, the podcast where we explore the stories and ideas that shape culture and imagination. Today, we're delving into one of the most iconic and groundbreaking works of science fiction, Dune by Frank Herbert. Published in 1965, Dune is much more than a novel. It's a phenomenon that redefined science fiction and continues to inspire readers, filmmakers, and thinkers around the world. In this extended episode, we'll journey through the origins of Dune, explore the themes of ecology, politics, and power, and dive into the rich world Frank Herbert created. We'll provide a detailed summary of the novel, introduce its complex characters, and examine the unique environments that define the Dune universe. Let's begin where it all started, with Herbert's vision. Frank Herbert's journey to writing Dune began with a passion for ecology and an eye for the intricate connections between humans and their environment. In the 1950s, Herbert worked as a journalist and was inspired by a U.S. Department of Agriculture project aimed at stabilizing sand dunes along the Oregon coast. Herbert became fascinated by the interplay between ecosystems and human societies, particularly the challenges of sustaining life in harsh conditions. But Dune wasn't just born from ecological interests. Herbert was deeply influenced by the political and social dynamics of the mid-20th century, including the Cold War, the rise of oil economies, and the environmental movement. These themes became central to Dune's narrative, blending speculative fiction with urgent questions about humanity's future. Interestingly, Herbert's manuscript was initially rejected by over 20 publishers, deemed too dense and complex for the market. It was eventually picked up by Chilton Books, a publisher better known for automotive manuals. This unlikely pairing launched one of the most significant novels in literary history, earning both the Hugo and Nebula Awards and a permanent place in science fiction canon. Dune stands out not only for its narrative complexity, but also for its exploration of profound themes. Let's unpack three central ideas that permeate the novel: ecology and environment, politics and power, and religion and prophecy. At its core, Dune is an ecological tale. The planet Arrakis, also known as Dune, is an unforgiving desert world where water is the most valuable resource. The ecosystem of Arrakis is intrinsically tied to its massive sandworms, which produce the spice melange. Herbert's depiction of Arrakis explores humanity's ability or inability to live in harmony with their environment. The Fremen, the native inhabitants of Arrakis, embody this harmony through their ingenious still suits which conserve and recycle body moisture, and their reverence for sandworms. The Fremen demonstrate how adaptation can lead to survival. Herbert masterfully weaves a web of political intrigue among the noble houses, particularly House Atreides and House Harkonnen, and the Padishah Emperor. Control of Arrakis and its spice trade represents not only economic dominance, but also political leverage. The spice, which extends life and enables space travel, is essential to the galaxy's economy, making Arrakis a symbol of resource exploitation and geopolitical tension. This theme resonates with real-world parallels, such as the global reliance on oil and the political struggles it engenders. The Bene Gesserit, a secretive sisterhood, manipulate religion to further their long-term goals. Through their Missionaria Protectiva, they plant myths and legends across civilizations, including the prophecy of a messianic figure. Paul Atreides, caught in these manipulations, must navigate his role as the potential Kwisatz Haderach, a superhuman figure both feared and revered. Herbert uses religion in Dune to question the nature of belief systems, their manipulation, and their power to unite or divide societies. Dune begins with House Atreides, led by Duke Leto, being granted stewardship of Arrakis by the Emperor. This appointment is a trap set by House Harkonnen, the Atreides' sworn enemies, and the Emperor, who fears the Atreides' growing influence. Duke Leto, his concubine Lady Jessica, and their son Paul move to Arrakis, where they face the challenges of governing the desert planet. Arrakis is inhospitable, with temperatures soaring and water scarce. Its true value lies in the spice melange, the universe's most coveted substance. Paul Atreides, the novel's central figure, is a young man of extraordinary potential. Trained in combat, politics, and Bene Gesserit techniques, Paul is also plagued by prophetic visions. As the Atreides navigate the political minefield of Arrakis, they are betrayed by the Harkonnens. Duke Leto is killed, and Paul and Jessica flee into the desert. The Fremen, the indigenous people of Arrakis, take Paul and Jessica in. Paul embraces his identity as a leader and messianic figure, earning the name Muad'Dib. He leads the Fremen in a revolution, seizing control of Arrakis and the spice trade. By the novel's end, Paul has secured his power, but his rise comes at a significant moral cost, setting the stage for the series' exploration of leadership and its consequences. Paul begins as a noble heir, but evolves into a messianic leader. His journey reflects themes of destiny, power, and the burdens of leadership. Lady Jessica, a member of the Bene Gesserit and Paul's mother, defies her order by bearing a son instead of a daughter, reshaping the fate of the galaxy. Duke Leto Atreides, an honorable leader, values loyalty and justice, and his tragic death sets the story's events in motion. Baron Vladimir Harkonnen, the ruthless and manipulative head of House Harkonnen, represents the dangers of unchecked greed and power. Chani, a Fremen warrior and Paul's partner, embodies resilience and loyalty, grounding Paul as he navigates his rise to power. Arrakis is as much a character as it is a setting. Its sands hide giant sandworms, whose existence is tied to the production of spice. The planet's harsh climate and scarcity of water make survival a constant challenge. The oceanic home planet of House Atreides, Caladan, contrasts with Arrakis, symbolizing stability and comfort. The industrialized home of House Harkonnen, Giedi Prime, reflects the ruthlessness and greed of its rulers. Dune remains relevant because it speaks to timeless issues: the exploitation of resources, the impact of environment on society, and the complexities of power and leadership. Herbert's vision challenges readers to think critically about humanity's role in shaping its future, making Dune a cornerstone of speculative fiction. Dune is more than a science fiction novel. It's a masterpiece that explores the delicate balance between humanity, environment, and power. Frank Herbert's intricate world-building, profound themes, and unforgettable characters have ensured its legacy for generations. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the genesis of Dune. In our next episode, we'll explore the sequels and how they expand the universe Frank Herbert created. If you enjoyed this discussion, let us know on our website or social media. Until then, let's keep unraveling the threads of imagination and storytelling.